Boom, 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 boom. Now tell me what you gonna do when it ain't nowhere to run. When judgment comes for you. When judgment comes for you. Tell me what you gonna do when it ain't nowhere to hide. When judgment comes for you. Cause it's gonna come for you.
I'm doing fucking phenomenal. How about yourself, brother?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm blessed today. Can't be any better.
You better know it. Shoot, won't he do it? Won't he do it? Shit.
Definitely. So we got the legendary Bizzy Bone. You know, definitely had a lot of questions I want to ask you today, man. With the hip hop, man, like I don't care what nobody say, Bone Thugs, they got the title. You can't take that away from you. So I definitely want to mention
man,
that.
Trust and believe, brother. Trust and believe me, brother. I'll step in the ring. I'm never gonna retire, motherfucker. Right in the ring. This ain't boxing, motherfucker. This ain't fucking football or basketball, sons of bitches. I be right in the ring. What you say? Oh, I got money, nigga. What's good? So fuck you, motherfucker. Fuck you. My energy is on a zillion.
And I want to get to that. Like, what really stands out about Bone Thugs is longevity. Like, you guys been out for so long, and it's like you still going for it, and you're not slowing down.
No, you can't. You can't. Not with what we have going on. It's like telling Coca-Cola. That's like Fago telling Coca-Cola, you had your run. It's still delicious. The fuck are you talking about?
And definitely with the new music, you and Crazy coming together, that collab, that's a crazy collab right there. Like, I want to talk about the New Waves album and how that came to be, because
we could have just called that motherfucker for the fans, for the cool Bone in harmony, hip hop heads. We had to do one. We could not just. It couldn't just be okay. Crossroads, first of the month. Look into my eyes. We're good. We had to give them something fresh, something new. So in 2015, 2016, we was like, you know what? Y'all gonna need this. You dig? So yeah, definitely. New Waves is one of them motherfucking ones, like, for real.
Definitely. And it was amazing because each and every Bone member has their own solo album. And even Flesh had a solo album. And I was bumping those back in the day. And I was like, man, it was no other group I can think of doing that. Wu-Tang, they did their thing back in the day as well. You and Wu-Tang, like, group-wise, legendary status. And that's just amazing how you guys just keep coming with new amazing. Like, what do you think, like, the creativity and inspiration comes from?
Well, you got to be an artist, man. You can't just, like, get into music to make a couple of dollars or because you know how now brown cow, green eggs, and ham. You know, you got to be like an artist. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's not a culture vulture and just trying to manipulate the music industry for what you can get out of it. You know what I'm saying? And then roll out. You get a lot of motherfuckers that just used to sell drugs that found a way to make legal money in rap music. And those are the motherfuckers that usually fizzle the fuck out because they really don't love music. They just love the hustle. They're providing for themselves. So I think the reason that Bone Thugs and Raunchy stays consistent is because we loved music. We were artists. That's just what the fuck we are. You dig? So I think that's where you get the transition. You know what I mean? And in between motherfuckers that love to do it and motherfuckers that do it just to make a point. So, you know, either way, it's a place for everyone, you know.
Definitely. It's a question I've always want to ask you about. Basically, your solo albums, like, they felt very indie to me. And, like, they would pop up. I'm like, they wouldn't get much marketing. They wouldn't get much press. Was there a reason behind that?
Well, my very first solo album, What Happened with Heaven's Movie, it was really, really good. But I got left with all 5 of my children. My baby mother she just ran out and never came back. And I was left with all my kids. And I had to either choose between promoting my record or being a father and taking them to school and making them breakfast and changing their diapers and things of that nature. I chose to be a father. And that's what happened with Heaven's Movie. And I went to New York recently, and a guy, he runs 300, a record company 300. He was like, you just stop. I told him the story and I told him what happened. And he was just looking at me damn near with tears in his eyes. He's like, I never knew that. I really just thought that you just stopped promoting. I'm like, no, I had to choose between being a father or being an artist. And I chose to be a dad. So, and with the rest of the stuff, yeah, it was like very little marketing because everyone was trying to reap the benefits of Crossroads, of the Bone, Thugs and Harmony fan base that we already had, off of the radio budgets that we had paid for 10 years ago. So they felt like they just didn't have to do radio anymore, and which is not true. You still have to advertise, promote, put money into it. That's what keep the lights on at the radio station, and so on. And this is before the social media stuff came in. So people were trying to cut corners, and they would go to their investors overseas and say, we need dollars in order to do this. And then they would get themselves a house, get themselves a car. They got the black card. And then they would call out to the investors and say, well, he's not promoting, whatever excuse they could make in order to not pay these investors back their money and make it as if they were doing everything that they were supposed to do. So they would put the blame on the artist, which it still happens to this day. So it's just a little hustle that has gone on. And as I grew older, I would call these investors and be like, no, that bitch is spending your money, bro. I'm right here. And now with social media, I'm active every single fucking day. With my YouTube channel, I'm active. And people can see what I'm doing. So you can't lie as easily as you could back then. So that's what happened with the promotion, with the previous records, just in a nutshell.
Yeah, that's dope. Another album I felt, I don't even know if it was complete, but Hell's Movie, like, I felt like that album was really slept on. Like, it's like one of my favorites.
Because it wasn't an album. That wasn't an album. That's something that someone put together on their own.
Oh.
And started circulating around. I'm a spiritual dude. Like, I would never put out something called Hell's Movie. Like, I'm not afraid, but that's just not my aim. That's not the legacy that I'm trying to leave in my name. So that Hell's Movie was an accumulation of songs that were either incomplete or just were I didn't want to put out. Like, certain things, because I don't put out everything that I record. Like, some stuff I want them to be hidden gems. So later on down the line, people can say, oh, wow, we did a song to Prince's Purple Rain called Murder Man. Oh, that's crazy. And they tried to say it was Murder Me. It was Murder May.
Yeah, I saw that. Because I played it loud. I played it loud to listen because, I got to catch the lyrics. I was like, yeah, I noticed that. Murder Man. You were absolutely right about that.
But the reason why I didn't put it out is very simple. I didn't want people to go out in the month of May and kill motherfuckers to my music. So that's why I didn't put that out.
All right.
But nobody would know that because nobody's fucking asked.
And I love the transition. Like, I've been watching Jam TV, and you're showing like multi-dimensional sides of Black man, which I think that's dope. And how do you do that transition?
Yeah, you gotta understand. I've always put myself out there. I've always touched on issues that other people was like, wow, why did he say that? What if I said I was molested? Would you look at it then? I've always talked about my kids. I've always. So it was right up my lane to do something that I could own and that I could edit, that I could put out and get the right look and, just show me raising my child, taking my lady out, the whole thing is having a child and proposing, all of these different things. That's just a real thing because I want people to understand this is what life is about. It's music, yes, but don't miss out on life. Don't miss out on love because if you do, dude, you missed out on the whole fucking thing. The whole thing. It was purposeless if you don't find someone to love and spend the rest of your life with. That's what this is all about. And every billionaire on their deathbed will tell you, and fuck money. Enjoy your life. Find someone to love. And smile more. They'll tell you hands down. So yeah, thank you so much for appreciating that too, brother.
Yeah, definitely. I stay tuned because, when it comes to hip hop, sometimes, there are stereotypes. Sometimes, it's not very multidimensional. You only get to see one side, the cars, the bling bling of it. You don't get to see like the real deep part of the hip hop where I guess, the industry hides. So, I want to definitely highlight that. And, just with the music scene in general today, and I wanted you to like definitely speak on this, like with hip hop and the difference of rap. What's your take on it, and what do you think? Like generation, like what generation, like how does it play a factor in that?
Man, look, hip hop is rap. Rap is hip hop. It's the same freaking thing. And we've been getting money since the early '90s, so that ain't nothing new. You know what I mean? We've been throwing money at cameras and on strippers since the box. So that's nothing new. It ain't like it just happened.
That's old school, yeah.
Nelly was sliding credit cards down broads' asses and cha-ching. So that shit in years ago. It's 2019. 14 years ago, Nelly was doing that. So if nothing has changed, it's not a big difference. The only thing that I would say has changed is the lack of lyricism in abundance. Like, you got your J. Cole's, you got your Kendricks, you got this, but then you got 9,000 auto-tuners. And I think that the balance, it's not balanced enough. And, the new generation, they're partying, they're dancing, and that's cool. But at the same time, I think that those who love the core element of hip-hop lyricism and the sport of it, I think that they're thirsty, which is why I put out Carbon Monoxide. Which is why I'm doing what I'm doing now. Because the lack of the creative part of hip-hop. Because now the platform is fake money, rented cars, rented jewelry, the impression of success, and then that makes everybody want to come check you out. So that's kind of where hip hop is, the impression of success instead of success. So, and the OGs in the game, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Diddy, City, they get into that bag. So, that's what we need more of. But Diddy's, he's not really putting out records anymore. Dre's not really putting out records anymore. Ice Cube's not really putting out records anymore. So the people aren't seeing it actively being executed with new material coming out from these people. They're doing basketball or movies or other things. You dig? So I think that that's where, people got to be woken up. Hey, don't forget this one. Da, 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 da. So I think that the hip hop historians are we're lacking those. We're lacking hip hopologists in 2019.
Facts. That's definitely true. I think basically people are not taking hip hop for what it is. These days, they're not really seeing the depth of hip hop, what it has to offer. They're seeing the music, but not really looking at, like you said, the different dimensions, the different elements of hip hop, and that's and
fucking way to sum that up. Yes.
And this is what I feel like. I feel like with Bone, like I feel like it wasn't only just hip hop. It was like spiritualism. It was lyricism. It was learning how to write certain prose, to spin your words. Like it was so many things bundled up in one, like a package.
It was struggle. It was coming from nothing to have something. It was dressing for where you really, really were. Khaki suits and big clothes because everybody had to wear each other's shit. It wasn't the fucking style. We had to get clothes as big as we got them because everybody had to wear the same shit.
Yeah.
The biggest member to the smallest member. That's what that was all about. It's never, what's style, big clothes? No. Mom got us this shit so we could interchange our outfits. So it was the struggle of it, brother, and the spirituality and everything else that you made. Now, 12 years old, these motherfuckers got money already. Five and change, techniques and shit. Like, but we were well off when we were born. We came out the womb, balling. Like,
Yeah.
okay, sounds good.
Yeah, you can definitely tell in the themes of the songs today what they talk about. It's not as diverse theme wise when you look at a certain trend that's going on. And I definitely think that's what
Well,
set Bone apart.
You gotta think. You got Kendrick. We got J. Cole. We got Bone Thugs and Harmony. We got these kind of issue-orientated, theme-orientated songs with depth. We got it. It's just with the new kids that it's party music, it's kid and play. You know, stuff like that. It's the fun part of hip hop. It really is the fun part of hip hop, and that's a good thing. But the fun part of hip hop will always be second best to Rakim. Kid and Play will always be second to Rakim. You can name a Rakim song, but you can't name a Kid and Play song. You can name the movie,
Facts.
but you can't name the song. So it'll always take a back seat to the core element of hip hop. Sugar Hill Gang, simplest rap in the world. Everyone knows that before they would know the new shit that's coming out. You dig? So it's just real. I said to him, if they do that shit, they know that more. They know that more. You know what I'm saying? Than the newest, hottest new craze. You know what I'm saying? Because kids want to get in the club, they just want to dance, man. They want to be young. They want to be happy. They want to be fun. Groups like Bone Thugs and Harmony, we didn't allow that. We made them deep. We made them think. We put thought into them at that young age. So we took that new young, I want to dance, I want to have fun, I want to party, and we made them tilt their fucking eyes a little lower. And we made these motherfuckers think. And that's the difference in us. And that's why people are still fucking with us to this day. Because we made them think. Right when we had the youth and we could have just talked about bullshit, we hit them with issues. So, you know, some people go do it and some people don't. You dig? And some people just really aren't good at it. Like, you got these party rappers that try to put out deep-ass motherfucking records, and it flops. Because don't nobody want to hear that shit, Sharif. You already came out on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So keep making us dance until you get too old to do it. You get out of style. Quit trying to get deep, Sharif. We good.
Yeah.
All we want to do is dance with some shit.
Yeah, they're not really authentic.
Yeah, because it's not authentic. You got to come out like how you, the way you walk in is the way you walk the fuck out. If you walk in on scissor and lean and pills and coke and all the rest of that shit, nigga, you got to walk out that way. Don't be preaching to us. Nigga, you done got the whole generation drinking lean. Now you want to talk about how deep you is. Nigga, you ain't deep. Get your ass on somewhere. You better make me dance, motherfucker. That's all I want to do is dance, nigga. Talking deep. And that's what usually fucking happens. You know what I mean? And I've noticed it time after time after time after time after time.
Oh, deep. It's another thing I wanted to talk about. Basically, with your music, like, I just don't see no stop. I see you getting ready to release a whole lot of more songs, and it's like, man, just, like, where are you headed to? If you can get it like a sneak peek, sneak peek.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. We've been cooking for a long time now, and we were just really, really waiting on the opportune time. And with social media, the way that it is now, this is the main marketing and promotional tool. Now, I tripped up on trendy. I didn't even mean the trend. I wasn't sitting in there like, you know, what I'm gonna get fucked up and I'm gonna pull out my musket. That ain't what the fuck I was on. I wasn't trying to trend, but since we tripped up on it, it was like, hey, now's a great time to put out all this music we've been working on. So I kind of fell in the fucking place like dominoes, yo. Just one tick one over, and the whole, till we've been grinding for about 2.5, 3 years now. Longer than that, actually. But for real, with the stuff that we're putting out now.
It's genius because you're a part of pop culture, and the memes are dominating right now. The memes are crazy right now. Like, and that shows the influence of Bone Thugs and Harmony, of Bizzy Bone. The memes, I still didn't finish the memes. There was a list of different memes. And it just shows, like, the influence of Bone Thugs and once again, the multidimensional ways you show of young black male in the spotlight.
Everything you're saying is true.
Yeah, so with the music, we're ready. Carbon monoxide was the perfect way. Like, I know a lot of people probably didn't understand the lyricism just with that title alone. That's some deep science right there.
Oh yeah.
And some people I know just Bizzy Bone, they gonna love it. But the fact that was the title, this is like you said, we're thirsty. Hip hop historians, journalists, fans, artists, creators, we're thirsty. We're ready to see what's gonna happen next.
It's necessary. It's necessary. It's the sport of hip hop, essence of hip hop, the essence of what we put on this table. I mean, we've infused R&B with hip hop. We've infused rock and roll with hip hop. We've infused country with hip hop. We've infused classical music with hip hop. But one thing that will always remain the same with it, it's always been that spoken word. It's always been lyricism. It's always been, wow, did he just say that? Oh man. So I myself look for it in music. As a fan of music, I love music. I love rap. I love music in general. So I definitely wanted to add and keep adding and keep giving to the essence of it. So yeah, definitely, brother. Definitely.
And leads me to the next question. I saw Bone Thugs, they performed in Brazil, and I already know the history. Like, basically, the money wasn't right, the business wasn't right. I understand it's about your business. I'm a father as well, so it's all about business. I got kids to feed, so I understand that part. But I want to understand, if the business is right, would you tour and perform in other countries?
I mean, I definitely would. That's the only thing that has to be right. See, the thing about my group is there's been a lot of people that have taken advantage of my voice and my brand. And every time we get with someone new, it's always, we need to build a new relationship in order to get the real dollars. These guys are getting, and when we go back and we backtrack, we find out, God damn, this guy was robbing us the entire fucking time. And we find out that we've been fucking getting robbed. And I'm the kind of person to where, do me once, shame on you. But twice, okay, that's because I'm stupid. No, pardon me, I'm the dumb one. So when it comes to places like Brazil, still owe. There's some promoters that still owe money from Brazil. Wow. When it comes to these different places, we want to make sure that we're getting what's rightfully ours. We'll sign the contract with our name on the dotted line, no problem. And we're good to go. But if you've noticed, Bizzy hasn't been sued for not showing up to any shows because Bizzy didn't agree to it. And you got to have a contract. Anything that I sign my name on, that means I'm going to be there.
Yeah, you're obligated.
So that's the plainest and the most simplest way that I can put that. Only going to agree to something if I feel it's right and it's fair. And then I'm going to sign my name to it. Now you get to hold me accountable. And that's the difference. So, definitely. So, I'm always down to tour. I'm constantly on the road. I'm constantly doing dates. Constantly doing things. And that's just facts at this point. Bone has been robbed. Bone Thugs and Harmony has gotten robbed by so many people as recently as last year.
Oh, wow.
So, I ain't talking about 10 years ago. I'm talking about like yesterday. So with me not participating in that, I don't have to look at myself in the mirror and be like, you're one dumb motherfucker, brother. I don't have the lip hanging out and I'm mad because I knew you was robbing us at some point. I knew you was doing something. So that's how I move. But as far as Brazil, we got some great stuff going on with Brazil. I think we had 3 or 4 shows that we were putting together and great money. And of course, 100% up front, sign our name on the dotted line. And, I'm not touching it anyway. You know what I'm saying? I don't just go out and just spend any goddamn way. Put that shit up, get to the kids or whatever, put in its own separate account. So, yeah, that's pretty much the answer to that.
Grown man business. I dig that, and I think that's what definitely is needed in hip hop because people get the wrong impression about the flashiness, and man, it's the business side of it is I'm seeing is very important. That's one thing I'm learning, that has actually had a very influential effect on hip hop over the years, especially throughout the 90s, all the way up into the 2000s.
You ain't never lied. It's been a hustle. People come in and people steal and people look for a way to get money. I mean, that's just what it is. And with this new YouTube stuff going on and monetization, before artists understand their value, artists don't even know. YouTube monetization is not covered in any contracts in the 90s. And not in the year 2000 either. So all of that is all your money. The whole enchilada. And artists on it, they got hundreds and hundreds of millions of fucking views on De La Soul, My Buddy. That's all their money. But because they don't know, and because the information isn't out there, they lack, and that money's just sitting there, or someone else is claiming it. Some big company is claiming it, and it just sits in dispute until those guys pass away and their kids don't know what's going on, and money goes to the big-ass companies. So it goes on till this day. I'm talking about stuff that's happening now.
Wow. That is...
yeah, man. Yes, sir.
That's deep. I want to say, are you going to ever be performing in South by Southwest? Like, I keep thinking, man, when's Bizzy Bone going to be in South by Southwest? Because I know you come in different times.
I mean, we're doing it now. Now we got this carbon monoxide, and we got new material out here. That's kind of what we have to do. You know, new material that's trending. We've got to have that in order for people to, you know, to want, you know, that type of thing to happen. A Bizzy at the South by Southwest. My sons have already performed up there. So the future is looking bright. My energy is on a zillion.
Yeah.
I'm still humble. I'm still grateful. I'm still spreading the word, but not being too preachy. And yeah, you'll definitely in the near future see us in these kind of places for sure.
I know one spot because you and Crazy had that song with Stephen Marley, and that song was crazy, and I was like, man, a bone reggae Jamaica crossover. I can see that because hip hop is getting big in Jamaica now, and I was like, man, that would be a dope kind of like Jamaica tour.
Very simple, and I can just put this in and wrap this up in a pretty bow. Even to this day, labels are trying to do less work and more feeding off of their investors and trying to not put money in projects. Wow. Because if they don't have an all-around 365 deal, they put less effort into it. So that whole New Waves project, that whole thing, they put absolutely less than zero energy into that. And they were solely and strictly depending on the touring schedule. Now, mind you, this touring schedule that we have, we're getting robbed the entire time.
Yeah, you being told, like, were you also being told, like, when you would tour, would they, like, make you pay for all of that? Like, they'll give you an advance, but that would be where it would go to?
Well, my business people and I have always been adamant about, you give us our stuff, and the first time you play us, we're walking the fuck away. The very first time. Not the second time. The first time. So, we give everyone a chance. And my staff, we have a lot of people on my staff that look out for me. They're like, "No, B, this ain't good. They're playing you, bro." And so on, and show me the paperwork. And so I can't speak on behalf of everyone else, you know. But I know definitely we keep our eyes out and our ears open. Like we keep it 100. We make sure no one's fucking us over indefinitely.
Indefinitely. No time expiration, no limit, no set date, indefinitely. Got it. So
yeah, no cap at all.
So I want to say thanks again. Bizzy, aka Lil Ripsta, aka BB Gambino, like definitely blessing us with some, knowledge about the business side of it, the history of it. And I mean, we're just waiting for the next track. I'm waiting for the next track,
It's coming, man. We're releasing it on Saturday. you know, and it'll be up for sale soon. It's just happening, man. And I appreciate you guys and everybody out there, everybody that this article is going to reach. Carbon monoxide is here. Enigma running from one time in the land. They coming one after another. Boom, 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 and boom. Bloodline Harmony, Ajane, Blaze, J Cass, Bizzy Bone. They're going down. Instagram, social media, Instagram, MRMCCANE, Mr. McCain on Instagram. Facebook, I am Bizzy Bone. YouTube, Jam TV. You type in Bizzy Bone, Jam TV, and it'll pop right on up. So, you feel me? Happy birthday to my son, Jam. He's 1 year birthday is today. And, you know, that's what's up, man.
Happy birthday, Jam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Can't wait for this stuff to circulate. Thank you, brother. You'd be great. Anthony, correct?
Correct. Appreciate that so much, man. You have a blessed night.
I shall do that.